Perhaps you're searching for a job after college and are growing increasingly frustrated as you find out that most companies are only hiring employees with prior work experience in the field. You start asking yourself, how am I supposed to get experience if I'm not getting the job in the first place? Essentially, the argument is, we can't hire you because we have never hired you before. That is one of many common types of logical fallacies. It is referred to as circular reasoning. It's a type of argument in which the conclusion is used as evidence to show that the reasons for that very conclusion are true without providing any outside proof. And it's important to argue logically because logic is an essential part of argumentation. That would be another example of circular reasoning. Because why it's an essential part of argumentation is the thing we want to have explained in the first place. Equally empty of useful information are circular definitions. Like the word inspiring is defined as having the effect of inspiring someone. It's basically useless because it uses the word to be defined as part of its definition.
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
One would assume that understanding the rules of logic and applying them correctly is a necessary prerequisite for someone pursuing a career as a university professor. But Ibram Kendi successfully disproves that assumption. Everybody makes mistakes from time to time, but it's very obvious that he meant to say what he said, because he's asked to repeat it and he gives the same answer again.
Sure. A collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity.
As the author of the bestseller How to Be an Anti-Racist, one would think he'd be able to give an insightful answer to a straightforward and fundamentally important question such as this. How is he effectively communicating his idea of anti-racism if he can't define what it is that one should be fighting against? Is he intentionally leaving the word racism vague so as to apply it to anything in society that he deems bad? I would really like to know the motivation in his thinking.
You should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
Do you know what a circular definition is?
I do.
To give the devil his due, this now widespread position has developed out of an initially kind-hearted attempt of breaking up rigid gender norms. The only problem is that it's completely nonsensical and empty of meaning. This person is a women's studies professor who can't define the primary subject of his profession, like an astrophysicist who refuses to define what a star is. Robbing the word woman of its meaning makes an effective discussion of women's rights impossible. It removes the ability to think clearly on matters of fundamental importance, and it shows a blatant disregard for the pursuit of truth, reason, and freedom of thought. Values that were once cherished by every university are now in danger of being sacrificed to conform to a rigid ideology.
If going to a large public university like UT is about expanding your horizons, opening up your mind and exploring ideas far beyond your comfort zone, then I can think of no better major to explore than women, gender, and sexuality.